Saints defense cannot literally stop anything. I mean, they wouldn't be able to stop a third-grade Pop Warner team. This Jaguars offense is set to go off this week, and I believe that the Jaguars take this game 44-7.
No, I love the Jaguars. I mean, they're one of my favorite teams in the whole league. I mean, you got Blake Bortles, Allen Robinson, Allen Hurns. You got a lot of good weapons there. I mean, and really, although the defense isn't really, much to look at, I think you got a lot of young players there that can turn into something pretty good in the near future. I mean, in the Saints, they're almost completely imploded. They still got Drew Brees, but he can't do it himself, not anymore. And so really this just comes to a point of who's better right now, and it's the Jaguars. They're the better team. I'll give the Jags about 28 points, and the Saints, I'll give the Saints 23. Because I think Drew Brees can do a lot by himself, but he can't will them to win like he used to.
No, it's kind of what I'm feeling too. Now, St. Louis is going to go up to CenturyLink to play the Seattle Seahawks. This game, at this point, has a lot of people worried as a trap game for Seattle. Because the last 5 games, Seattle has not played really strong defenses. And the Rams have a strong defense. Does this signify the possibility of the reign of terror that the Seahawks have been putting on the rest of the league? I say no. I believe the Seattle Seahawks win 27-19.
Well, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, St. Louis has the personnel on defense, but they're the 22nd ranked defense right now. I mean, they're not really. They are good. Like I said, they have the personnel, but they're allowing points. They're allowing plenty of yards. I mean, plenty of rushing yards, and they have their games where they can come back and remind everyone that they do have that personnel. But really, I mean, you got Robert Quinn out. He's got a back injury, and some of those pieces just aren't there right now. Nick Foles is terrible. All the quarterbacks there are terrible. Gurley is great, but you're not gonna. It was like the same thing with the Minnesota game. You can't beat the Seattle Seahawks with a one-dimensional offense. And the St. Louis Rams are just a worse version of that than the Minnesota Vikings were. So I think you're going to see almost the same exact game. You're going to see the Seahawks put up big points. Russell Wilson. I'm going to give them about 30 points, and I think St. Louis will be lucky if they can get. They'll be lucky if they can get a touchdown. I'll give them 7 just because it's hard not to score in the NFL.
Okay, we got about 6 Shock the Jock submissions that I'm going to go ahead and read here in a few minutes, but let's get through these games first. By the way, I totally agree with you on the assessment of the Rams defense, and I was totally, it's weird because they are very low ranked, but they have this explosive tendency, and they could play anybody tough. It's a good call though. You made a good point that statistically they don't look all that well. Is it the bend don't break? That's what I'm thinking. But the Packers travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Now, Cardinals have already clinched the NFC West, right? But this game is integral on what type of seed they're going to be. If they win, they lock up the number 2 seed, and then when they play the Seattle Seahawks, they don't have to worry about running out players and having injuries like they did last week with the Honey Badger. I don't know what's going to happen with this game, but all eyes along the NFL, especially the NFC, are on this game. I see this game ending with a Packer victory and putting a lot of pressure on that Seattle Cardinal game next week. I see the Packers picking up this win 34-31.
Well, I totally agree. I mean, the Packers, for every we've made fun of them a lot, but they're 10-4. They don't suck.
No.
I mean, everybody's in there saying that Aaron Rodgers is some terrible quarterback, like he's giving away all these games, but they're actually doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, their offense isn't what it was supposed to be. We all know that, but they're ranked 10th most points in the NFL, so they're doing something right. But and they're not allowing all that many points against them. And Aaron Rodgers isn't going to throw a lot of pick sixes or really turn over the ball really all that well. It's really going to turn over the ball at all. So Arizona really has a tough battle ahead of them. But I do like Arizona. I think they are still one of the best teams in the entire NFL, and I will give them the victory. But I agree with you. This is going to be very close. It's going to be a lot better than people think it's going to be. I'll give the Packers 33. I'll just go reverse. I'll give them 33, and I'll say the Packers 30.
Okay, all right. So the New York Giants travel in to take on the Vikings. The Vikings haven't fully locked up anything yet, as far as I know. Have they? I think playoff berth.
No, they haven't.
No. Oh, okay. Okay. So the Giants are fighting for their playoff lives and are likely out of it by all guesstimations. And the Vikings are kind of looking like they're going to either be a 5th or a 6th seed as a wild card contender, but could sneak in behind the Packers depending on what happens with the Cardinal game. So let's talk for just a few seconds. I see this coming out as the Vikings destroying an Odell Beckham-less team with a big statement and great momentum heading into the playoffs. I say that the Vikings win 34-17.
I like that. No, I like that. And hey, and if the Packers lose this game, they'll be 10-5. The Vikings win this game, they'll be 10-5.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're looking at the division coming down to that all-important Week 17 match at Lambeau Field. The Vikings want this win. And I think Odell Beckham put himself before the team. And I think there's a lot of that going on to the Giants. I really do. I don't think this team is really I don't think that Coughlin really has that good of a grip on them anymore. And we always talk about this, should be fired. Who cares that he won 2 Super Bowls? Winning 2 Super Bowls gets you a whole hell of a lot in the NFL because it's hard to do. One, maybe that was just luck or whatever, or a good circumstance. But if you win 2, you are good. You're a good coach. But I really think there needs to be some growing up in that locker room because I don't think it's just Odell Beckham Jr. I think that's something that's larger, in amongst their other players too, because he is a superstar. But you can't have that superstar mentality and expect not to get punished when you play as dirty as he was. And so I think this is going to be very humbling for the Giants. I think the Vikings want this very badly. I think Teddy Bridgewater has found a good rhythm. And I think he'll start to play a little better, not amazing, but better enough to give Adrian Peterson, if he plays, no one knows if he's going to yet because of that high ankle sprain that he suffered. But I tend to agree with you. I think the Vikings are going to put at least 30 points up, and the Giants, without Odell Beckham, I'll give them 14.
Okay, all right. So I like your picks, but I'm going to have to say that it's going to come down to a last pick here, and I think that we have the ability to have very similar records this week. The Bengals take on the Broncos on Monday Night Football, and it's really going to come down to who's quarterbacking for the Denver Broncos. They're both on backup quarterbacks with A.J. McCarron versus who the hell knows on Denver's side. And we are left with a situation where both of these teams ultimately need a win desperately if they're going to keep not only playoff hopes alive, but possibly a home field advantage in a playoff, at least somewhere down that spectrum. So I'd say that the Denver Broncos are able to pull off a victory just because they're going to harass the crap out of the inexperienced A.J. McCarron. And they're going to win in Denver by a nice, easy, boring, conservative score of 17-14.
Totally agree. I think the Broncos come in, they beat the crap out of A.J. McCarron, and just remind him that he's not Tom Brady. He's just some crappy Alabama quarterback. That's not going to get it done. Broncos, they're just a better team. I like them even if they were both healthy, just because their defense is just so menacing. I'll say the Broncos win 19. I'll give the Bengals 10.
Okay. Very good. That concludes all of our picks for the NFL Week 16. Tomorrow night, it'll be Matt and Nash again. Maybe some Javi blended in. Tomorrow night, we are going to be talking about things like, should players be sat late in seasons? That's a great topic and debate that Matt and I are going to have tomorrow, and we're going to be working that out. But we want to share some of these Shock the Jock submissions. From L.A., they said, if the kids are out of the house, I am shampooing the rugs. Dude, you're boring. Why are you listening to our show?
That's not true. They smoke heroin. They smoke pot or they inject heroin or something. That's not true.
If maybe they're tweaking and they just feel like that urge to clean or something. From New Orleans, Louisiana, they said, I will go out and party and try to bring home strippers. I hope you're a single man. Because if you bring home strippers with your wife there, you're going to be single pretty soon.
I like that. I mean, that's good. I mean, hey, if his wife lets him do that, that's cool. I'm digging it.
That's a great wife. Miami says, with the kids gone, I am sitting and watching a marathon of The Walking Dead. Good choice. Really good choice.
That is a good choice. I can't hate on that.
Yeah, no, you can't. Another one said from Charlotte, North Carolina, that they will Netflix marathon with the kids gone. That's a good choice. I mean, it kind of works in the same one as The Walking Dead, in my opinion.
Yep. But you got to do it drunk or something. You got to enhance the experience.
Yeah, do something to like every time a zombie's killed, you take a drink or something like that to kind of add to it. Okay, I mean, don't just do it normal. So the last one that we got here as far as a Shock the Jock submission from Pahrump, Nevada. They said, with the kids gone. With the kids gone, I honestly thought about this, and I thought maybe I shouldn't read it or not. But they said they will go through a masturbation fest. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're like me. I might be ambitious about my masturbation at one point in time, but once you achieve what you're going to achieve, that takes me out of the desire to masturbate for at least 5 to 6 hours. So why the heck would you go through a masturbation fest while your kids are gone when you could really be doing the same thing? Yeah, don't. Did you say don't blow it?
No, don't force it. No, yeah, definitely don't blow it either. Don't blow it either. Yeah, but don't force it. I mean, that just takes all. No, I mean, come on. No, I mean.
Yeah, no. Nobody wants that. Those are some good Shock the Jock submissions tonight, and I thank everybody for who did text in, and I thank everybody for letting us know, because there are some really good ones, and I think that one of these is going to be the $50 winner. I really do, because those are some pretty shocking things, and I'm dying for the opportunity to put that person's picture on our brand new Wall of Fame on jockjournal.com. But with that, I guess it's time for us to bid farewell. Tomorrow it will be Nash and Matt, and it's going to be at the same time following the free parking show, which is, there's so many names in that show, I can't even name them all. But it's full of great talent. We encourage you all to listen tomorrow, starting at 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. on Central Time, and they are a hoot to listen to, and it's building. Jock Journal Radio is building every day. But with that, I'm Nash.
And I'm Javi.
And you're listening to NFL Talk. Have a nice night. We'll see you tomorrow.
That was NFL Talk Late Night from Jock Journal with the biggest morons in the country. If you aren't asleep already, it might be time to get to bed. However, I'm sure most of you are still looking for me on AshleyMadison.com.